Welcome, Western New York. Welcome to the Rainbow Roller Rink as we get set here for December to Dismember, the TNT Fight Series. I'm Jim Slowey, along with Jim Rhodes and Jeff Dens, as we are here to bring you this great card that they have on here. As you see Bob Lilly going into the ring there, as they see us, and we are here. We're ready to go. We're getting set. Jeff, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And
great to have you.
These are going to be some great fights we have in here. And here's the national anthem. We'll be back with more in a moment. Well, as we get set here, and what a way to start as we get our chairs ready. We get set for our first fight of the evening. Jim, first of all, Jim, this should be a great 10 fight card, 3 championship fights that are going to be on tap here tonight. For Bob Lilly was just in there, and
it's Don Lilly. Don Lilly.
Don Lilly too. Yes, Don Lilly in there. Excuse me, and Jeff and Jim. First of all, Don has a great card put together here. Again, the TNT Fight Series. We get set, right?
Oh, absolutely. He comes in here, and we got some all over on the weight classes. Some inexperienced fighters coming in here, some very experienced fighters coming in here. So we're going to see a little bit of everything coming out of here. And Jim, it is kind of nice tonight. You and I will do a lot of the broadcasting, but we have a fighter on his own right over here joining us tonight. We got Jeff Caveman Dens, who's going to join us on a third mic tonight with the little bit of the technical information that we might not have.
Well, thanks a lot for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Jeff, thanks for joining in too. I mean, as we get set here, Jeff, while we're waiting for the first fight, let's see. We see Frankie Scalzo is going to be the third man in the ring here. But why don't you let everybody know a little bit about what we're going to see and what kind of rules we are. I know that there's a big push in New York for a professional MMA, but we're in the amateur card. Why don't you explain to us about what we're going to see tonight?
So what the amateur card is, it differs from the UFC. We don't allow head kicks to an opponent on the feet. There's no elbows. Only fists should be striking the head. So we can't knee to the head. We can't high kick to the head. On the ground, there's no elbows. So it's going to look a little different than UFC. The referees are usually going to step in and stop the fights a little bit earlier since the guys are less experienced.
There you see Don Lilly's in there. He's going to be talking everything. Our first fight is going to be a 145-pound bout. It's going to be a flyweight, and it's going to be sponsored by Rainbow Rink and LCTV. Our first fight here is we get set here. John Gearhart comes in 0-2 against Adam Fort, 0-2, both independents. And Jeff, first of all, independents mean that they don't have a sponsor as of yet?
Actually, it means that they pretty much train in their backyard. They don't have a gym that they fight out of, so they're like pretty much fighting on their own. Like both these guys had a hard time getting their hands wrapped. Having a team's a big thing, so it's pretty brave of these guys to come in here without a corner, really. They're just coming in, they like to fight, and they want to put it on the line for these guys.
Jim, too, also, the first 3 bouts, the first 6 fighters get their hands, they're supposed to have their hands wrapped early. There you see them putting on the salve. It's only allowed along the brow, on the nose, and the cheekbone, and that's about it. They don't want to get crazy with it. Those were the instructions before the match, and looks like we're getting set to go.
Now, the Vaseline can give you a big advantage if you get it all over your body. It's slippery for the grappling aspects of the fight.
One thing I have noticed, Jim, and I learned last couple sets of fights we've done here is the difference is, you know, when you talk about these going to professional fights here in New York and things at times, is the quality of the referees and the officials in the ring now are so much better because these guys come through a history of fighting themselves as opposed to guys trying to learn it out of a book. So the officials are going to be pretty solid, I think, for us tonight.
Big weight difference for these guys.
So Adam Fort is here in the red corner there. You're right. It looks like, I mean, it's a 145-pound bout, but you see the upper body.
Gearhart missed weight by over 6 pounds, and Ford came in underweight by 7 pounds. So there's a big difference between these two guys.
Okay, Jeff, and then for them to fight here now, they had the one that was over, the one that's under has to say that accept the fight, right?
That's correct. If the guy's over, the Ford took this fight, and he was happy to fight. He seemed very, very confident at the weigh-ins.
So Gearhart now in the camouflage, and Ford in the black shorts there. As they right away they take him down. Ford gets on top. He's
got a front headlock. It's not really choking him. Really, Gearhart should be able to come out of this and take his back. If he just puts a little pressure on his face, there he goes, he's coming up. He's going to come to side control now. Oh, or not.
So Gearhart does slip out of it though, and now he's on top. Adam Fort is trying to avoid the
I'm not sure Gearhart has a big submission game, but I think he's going to look to ground and pound Ford on the bottom. He's got the weight. He's going to try and use it here. This is where it really matters. The guy's on top grinding on you.
And you see Adam Fort, Jim, trying to get them legs wrapped around to try to take some of the muscle out of those shots that he knows that
Ford's
John's
looking for a triangle right now. Here it comes. Oh, he's going to sweep him.
Got him.
Up on top. He's going for an armbar. Gearhart taps out.
He tapped out. And a beautiful, nice move there. And right in front of our broadcast location, Gearhart is out. He is out. I think his arm. We got Dr. Libby as the ringside doctor. We failed to mention. I didn't know if we had to mention that yet. But we're going to be getting tapped out here. We're going to see this again on replay as we go.
Here comes, he's attempting a triangle.
A triangle.
The guy gets really high, so he's able to sweep him. He comes up in an armbar. And he just take his arm straight back. It looks like when it hits the mat, his elbow might pop, might be a little bit out of the socket there.
Right.
He's in some obvious discomfort in the cage right now.
And Dr. Libby is in there. Dr. Libby comes in there, and she is taking good control. Yes, he is in very much pain here. We do have the doctor on hand. We have the ambulance sitting right outside the back doors, right next to our truck. And you see the grimace. And I think we'll get away from that. But there you see the treatment there. But they got the ice right underneath there. The paramedics are in here. And our first fight. And, while we're looking at this big crowd that comes in here, Jeff, maybe you can explain once again. I don't know if we can get that at replay again. Explain what exactly he did there. Was that arm hurt when on the flip or before he got him up and
It looks like he was attempting a straight arm lock where you would straighten the arm out.
Right.
And as they fell, his arm was getting straightened, so it locked out. It was like a hyperextension of the elbow as they hit the mat.
So to Adam Fort with giving up a lot of weight. And our partner Jim Jeff is going to be going into the ring, doing interviews for the ring for the announcing, and he'll be carrying the LCTV mic in there as well as we get that set. And there you see Frankie Scalzo, third man in the ring. Adam Fort, the winner of our first match there, and he is pumped. Our Jeff Den's is going to go in there and try to get that interview with them, and we'll see how that works. And we hope that Jim Jack Gearhart's okay, because he was in very much pain right in front of our broadcast location.
Yeah, he's in a lot of discomfort over there, and he went down the. He's taking a walk with the paramedics. They're going to look him over pretty good.
You were going for the triangle. Were you trying to finish him with the triangle? Going for a sweep there. Great job. We hope to see you in the future.
There you have it. Jimmy said he could feel it pop or whatever, but that was a nice move, and he gets a lot of congratulatory claps from the audience here. Good packed crowd here at the Rainbow Rink. Huge crowd on hand here as our first fight is in the books, and Adam Fort comes away with the victory. And now you see them taking the gloves off and the tape off, and there's the winner. Our next bout, though, is they come up here as we get coming in the red corner. It's going to be great. Gagnon, he's 0-1, another independent fighter there. This fight sponsored by Torch Photography, KMS Photo. This is a 207 catchweight bout, and fighting, and we have our first fighter out of the Western New York MMA going to be coming in here too, and is Raymond Arias under the direction and tutelage of Corey Webster. Corey Webster is, again, we see on our fights, Jim, at the Keenan, you know, and you see a lot of Corey with owns Western New York MMA and one of the great trainers in the area.
Yeah, absolutely, he's Corey's well respected in the area. Trains a lot of the fighters in there, and he came up through with you know, in the same gym with Amir Abdallah and some of the others there, and he came up through and well respected. You see now this catchweight fight. These guys are some pretty big guys. They're going to throw some punches at 207 on the catchweight. So
these guys almost went at it at the weigh-ins last night. Gagnon and Ayers, I had to separate them myself. It was almost ugly last night.
I actually was standing next to Greg in the room when they gave the pre-fight rule. They went over to pre-fight rules. You'll see in the third man in the ring is going to be Dan Ray. He'll be in there, and he'll have a tough go at this. These guys are both heavy. Here you see Corey Webster coming with his fighter in there. Raymond Arias is about to enter the cage.
TJ Summerlin, another pro fighter from Western New York's in his corner. As well as Scott Skinner, another guy that fights in lace-up.
There you go. Coming in, so this should be an all-out brutal war. You see Frankie Scalzo there. Frankie Scalzo is going to be doing the inspections of the fighters before they enter the cage. And so Frankie's going to inspect the fights where Dan's in the middle, and when Dan's not in the middle and Frankie's in the middle, they're going to be inspecting each other on the way in. So
Gagnon just gave me a little heads up, like my write-up.
Yeah, these two guys are going to come at each other with some ill will, I think, when this bell goes. And Arias, this is his first fight, so he's going to want to make a mark here, so he's going to come out hard.
Yeah. Both guys. Gagnon looks like a football player, man. He just looks like he's going to come out and
broad
kill
shoulders,
somebody.
boy.
Yeah.
He's got some broad shoulders standing right in front of us. There you see. And there you see Raymond Arias being checked out there. Now this is a precautionary measure, Jeff, to make sure there's nothing illegal being brought into the ring.
Yeah, it's actually to make sure that the guys aren't covered in like Vaseline or something that would make it slippery for when they clinch and they engage in the ground.
Or any metal whatsoever anywhere around.
Correct.
It'll be a little tough to distinguish here, so we'll let you know that Gagnon here is going to have the Venom shorts on here with the black and red. And mostly red will be Raymond Arias. He'll be fighting out of the blue corner. And we'll go up to Don Lilly.
And you will see that on some of their hands when you see them out here, because they have the red tape or the blue tape to the hands. So when we say out of the red or blue, that's how you will pick it up in our HD broadcast.
Those 8-ounce gloves are small. They look like they're gloves, but there's not much protecting the knuckles. So it's really easy to get knockouts with guys this big.
I guess there's a mixed reaction there with Arias being mentioned. So here we go. Again, Danny Ray, third man in the ring, waiting to make sure judges are okay. Here we go, fight. Right away, they want to throw some heavy lumber. Mixed martial arts, you can anything's allowed except what Jeff said at the beginning. There's a kick right in there, and these guys are brutally going each other. That was kind of a miss. Now that one wasn't a miss. The right hand missed the first time, kind of knocked Gagnon off balance, and the second one was not a miss. It hit him and took him to the floor.
Now we'll get to see these guys' ground game. Harris isn't really following up. He's just laying on top right now, taking a breath. First fight. There he goes. Now he's starting to need a body.
Knee goes right into the rib cage.
Got in the full.
Allow Gagnon to get full guard now.
Full guard.
Now Gagnon needs to close his guard and keep him tight and either get a stand up or work to try and sweep the guy.
And if you can get that close, Jeff, it takes a little bit of the power away from the hits coming to the head. You know they're coming.
Correct. The bottom man always wants to break the top guy's posture.
Right.
The better posture top guy has, the harder he can hit. And these guys can hit hard.
Yeah, these guys are really wailing to it. This is what you see, the ground game now as they're going. You see, look at Danny Ray right in there looking. He's going to be talking to them. What he's doing, he's talking to these
Gagnon's actually
guys.
looking for an armbar. He's climbing up looking for an armbar. Bears shut him down with some punches.
2 good rights to the face by Arias.
He's trying to get those feet in there to get his hips off. He's trying to get the space and clear space so he can get out.
So Greg's trying to push him off. So you see that right foot right in that left thigh trying to push him off when he's talking to him. Both these referees told these fighters that when we talk to you, we want you to respond. We want to know that you're okay.
That foot in the hip actually prevents Ayers from coming in and getting on top better. There's more space for him to be able to stand up. It's the first part of the technical stand-up.
Again, 3-minute rounds here going, and
I think you're going to see him stand them up here pretty soon. There's not a whole lot going on down there. They got him tied up pretty well.
Stand up, Z, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
We're going to see how good these guys' condition is in a little bit. They're both looking kind of tired down there right now.
Boy, they both looked in great shape coming in the ring. The left hand misses there.
Oh, there's the armbar attempt. Oh, and a pass.
He tries to get it. Now he's trying to.
He didn't have the hips in deep enough to secure that armbar. He shouldn't have even really thrown it. He's just going to let Ayers pass his guard.
Pretty good clinch in there right now. Gerhardt's got a hold of him, closed up all that space. There's not a whole lot to swing at.
See a little bit of blood on the left nostril there.
It looks like Gagnon's just trying to hold on for a stand-up. Whenever Ayers gives him some room, he tries an armbar. Now he's trying to sweep.
There's only 10 seconds left in this first round.
There's
a couple good. There's a kick to get away, and there it goes. There's the horn. And both fighters look at each other's eyes as they go to their respective corners.
Yes. I would call that 10-9 for Gagnon, or Ayers.
Yep.
Oh, no doubt about it. He had the advantage. You know, even though Gagnon tried to get a couple defensive moves, he really didn't make them count.
Yeah, just like kickboxing or boxing, we use a 10-point must system in amateur MMA as well. So one fighter gets 10 points and the other gets 9 or 8, depending on how the round goes.
And you saw Gagnon during the round over there talking to the official over along the ground, and just as soon as that was over, Dan Ray just came over here, did a great thing. He walked over and just explained what he was doing to him right here, just as he came out of the corner. Doesn't take his time away from his trainers and his ring guy or corner guys, but he explained what he was calling over there.
Yeah, Dan Ray's a really solid ref. He's been all over. He knows what's going on in there.
And, doesn't take anything from anybody.
And who we got in that corner here? We got a couple guys here in Greg's corner.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure who those guys are. They're instructing they're really trying to get him to put some combinations together and keep his hands tighter. It looked like he was dropping his hands a little bit, and that's how he got clipped. I watched a lot of his fights. He gets really, it looks like he gets mad in there, and he just drops his hands and starts really swinging for defenses, but it leaves his face open.
When he caught that first punch, it looked like he put his hands up and was just trying to bat away the hands, and nothing. You're going to power right through that at 207 pounds. So, and that's when he got that second shot.
Ayers is really impressive for his first fight with his hands. It's hard to be loose in there.
Oh, he missed with a left there, and Gagnon came over, but he didn't miss with a right.
You see Gagnon's hands
He's
are
telling
coming
him
down.
he's lunging right at him, and he's telling him to come out, and he hits him with a kick on the way in, and it tries to get him, but down the back. Oh, Greg Gagnon tried to backhand, he missed, and he took one. Blood coming out of the nostril now. These are throwing some lumbers being thrown up here in the ring now. This is what Gagnon wants. He wants to stand up. And he gets back. No, now he's waiting.
That looked like it hit him in the back of the head as he spun around.
Arias is daring him to stand back up. He's going to tell him, stand back up. We want him up. Come on up.
Yep.
Very good. Good job by Danny Ray. Gagnon comes in with a kick, and he misses. There's a good right knee to the clavicle there.
That crumpled. Danny Ray should watch his close. He's kind of hurt.
Let me ask you, Jeff, was that more of let him think I'm hurt so he does get on top of me and bring him down to the mat, or because it looks like obviously he wants to fight from the mat.
I don't know. He's not really. I don't think he's doing too well down there. If that's his strategy, I don't think it's a very good one.
Time for a new strategy.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's hurt. I think he's still a little bit rocked from the earlier exchange. Where it looked like he got hit in the back of the head a little bit.
Man, these HD cameras bring you right into the ring, right into the action here, as you see.
And
Raymond Arias right on top now, and that's Greg Gagnon on the bottom.
That pressure being put on him, he's trying to get up the amount of pressure in the core of his body right there. I mean, it just takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, having a guy this heavy on you just sucks the wind out of you. He's laying on top, it's constricting your chest. It's really hard to breathe down there.
In the first round, though, you know, Arias got a couple.
Oh, he's got to mount now. Now he's looking for some serious ground and pound.
Little ground and pound action there.
This is the ultimate position in MMA when you can be mounted and just rain your strikes down. It's really hard for the bottom man to close that space.
That was close to an elbow there, I think, but Dan Ray right on top of it.
They know that the fists are coming down. The right one. Oh, and another right in there by
Dan Ray's looking in close.
And they're watching him good. He's getting pummeled right now with combinations galore. I was going to tell you in the first round, he got the knees to the body, to the rib cage.
Yeah.
It worked well, but right here, this ground and pound is just as ground and pound at perfection.
He's open for an arm bar, and that arm he's pushing up right now if Arias wants to go for it. All he has to do is swing that leg around and take that arm, and then the fight. But it looks like he's just confident to ground and pound him out right here.
And it doesn't look like he's got much to be able to do that. 10 seconds to go in round 2. Danny Ray taking a look. He's asking him to say,
his eyes are very
I'm
clear.
Okay. Yeah, he says, I'm fine. But boy, right there, that's almost a 10-8 round. But I mean, I guess we go 10-9. But definitely Arias with, we would say, won that for sure. And then probably the
that could be a 10-8. Well. He dropped him twice, and he landed an awesome knee and a ground and pound. It's a good round.
Yeah,
look at the swelling over the right eye of Gagnon. I don't know if our cameras are going to pick up that, but his right eye is just brutally swollen.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a good camera angle there. Look at that left eye there, and the right, even the right's even bigger. See the right?
It's a pretty good hematoma he's got going on right there.
He sure does. He's got a huge hematoma on the right side and on the left as well.
Oh, at least it looks like he's been in a fight. It's good.
Yeah. There you see Arias over in the far. Arias over in the far corner, getting a little bit of instruction there.
That's Eric Herbert over there, professional fighter. He's my coach. He's a great MMA instructor. The Western New York corner is awesome. We got all professional fighters in the corners. Corey Webster,
yes.
Mike Dubb, the jiu-jitsu coach. It's just a phenomenal school in the area.
And I'll tell you right now, I mean, I don't think you're going to see Greg Gagnon going to really try to lure him onto the mat again now, because I don't think he's got the strength now to be able to.
He needs a knockout or submission to win this fight.
He can throw the lumber. He still looks like he's got a good.
Arias looks tired though. Look at Arias.
I was going to say he does. His mouth is more wide open than Greg's. Gagnon now needs to probably a knockout here to win, or a submission. Oh, and there you go, right away. The good right by Arias.
Arias is just
he
for
walked
those
right
counters.
He was about a half an inch from putting this fight over. Just missed the chin. Arias is throwing some heavy lumber as well with it. Right there.
Gagnon's a gamer though. He's coming forward. He wants to take this fight.
Took a hard couple of shots there.
I think Danny Ray is really close to stopping this fight if Arias would just hit him a little bit right here. Arias wants another stand-up, I think.
Arias knows he just stands there and takes this, he's going to win.
He's kicking it right now. He's kicking at the knees right here, too. That you saw Gagnon right there try to kick directly at the knee.
Gagnon asked why. Why can't he come down on, why do we got to stand up? And that's what you have to do when you get instructions from Danny Ray.
Wrestling's a big part of MMA. If you can't get the guy down, you can't just lay on your back.
Oh, and the right knocks him out. He's done. It's over. It's over. He is out. He's out. Arias does it. Raymond Arias with that right hand. I told you he was a half an inch from it.
And here it is on replay.
Watch this right. Watch the right on the chin. on the chin, and down he goes. And you see the head. Once you see that head hit the floor like that, Danny Ray did the right thing and just waved it off Dr. Libby right into the ring right away. That was some punishment in there that was delivered, and both of these guys know that they've been in a big fight.
Yeah, that Gagnon kid, he reaches out and it leaves himself open for the right hands and the counters. Just got to get tighter on his feet. He looks like the whole part of a fighter. I mean, he's a big, scary guy.
Dr. Libby's right there. They've got him halfway up here. They're going to bring him up slow. But
paramedics in the ring as well. So the paramedics are in there. And I'll tell you what, like Jeff said, the hematoid. There you get a good look at the corner there, Jeff.
Yeah, there's Eric Herbert on the right. There's TJ Summerlin. He's a crazy pro now at 170. I'm not sure who the other guy is in the corner there. Rick Rogers, another police officer that trains at WNY.
So get in there, yes. Yeah, look there, you see Greg. Greg really still doesn't know exactly where he is. Dr. Libby's going to make sure he's going to go. He still wants to walk over and congratulate on a nice fight. There's the two fighters. They put it all aside after it's over.
They sure did. Eric showed a good stand-up in that fight for his first fight. It's hard to be loose.
Yeah, it's great. Jeff's going to jump in there and get some interviews. We're going to go up to the see Dan Ray is going to go up, and Don Lilly with the announcement.
Here you go.
There you see it. We're going to see now here is both fighters talk each other, talk it over, talk the strategy, and boy, it was a war in there for 2.5 rounds. And Jeff Dens is going to go in the ring and try.
I'm here with Ray Arias. He just had a big KO. How did that feel?
Feels good.
Man, I train with you in the gym all the time. I never seen you throwing that in the gym. Where did that come from?
Training with TJ. He's a beast.
Any shout-outs you want to give out to anyone besides for TJ?
I want to give a shout out to my family, my brother Chico, all my Western New York MMA guys. You helped me with the wrestling, so everybody at the gym, man.
All right, great fight, Raymond. Welcome to TNT. We need some more knockouts like that. Let's go.
I'll be here for the summer event.
Be there for the summer event, Jim. There you see it. Jeff goes in there and makes it happen there. Nice interview there. Is tough fight.
yeah, very tough fight there. They, like we said, those big guys can throw some punches out there, and so they can really throw. The knockouts are always there. So great job and nice job by Jeff jumping up into the ring there, into the cage and getting a.
Right, no, that's good, and he wants more of that action. But it was nice to see Raymond talk to Jeff and recognize you in there too as helping him with those wrestling moves. So, I mean, you need that. You need every facet of this way it's mixed martial art. You need somebody to hone all your moves in boxing, your boxing moves, your wrestling moves, and everything.
In the gym, I never really seen him throw hands like that. He looked really good tonight.
Well, our next bout here is a card girls enter the ring. It's 125-pound bout, so we're going to go a lot lighter at flyweight. It's going to be sponsored by the U.S. Air Force here, and we got a couple of fighters going to be having their first fight here in the TNT Fight Series. This is it started out, and it's really living up to its name, December to Dismember. And we've seen two dismemberments already just about as Mark Mendez is going to come in the red corner out of MV MMA, and I'm not sure exactly where it is.
That's Mohawk Valley MMA.
Mohawk Valley MMA, thanks, Jeff. And then Devlin Speed will be in a blue corner out of Buffalo United.
Both of these fighters come in here. This is their first fight for both fighters, so 125-pound flyweight bout. Both fighters, it's their first fight, so let's see what they can do here in the ring. So I'm sure they're both pretty excited.
Yeah, 125 is an exciting weight class. They're little, they move around a lot. It should be a great fight. I actually worked a little bit with Delvin Speed over at Buffalo United with Keith Brandt and Josh Ketchery. They just started their school, and so Delvin's their first fighter out of that school. And Mark Mendez comes out of Mohawk Valley. They got a ton of fighters. And they actually, one of their guys, Jody Curtis, is fighting for a title tonight, so he's had a training partner to train with. So we're going to see an experienced school against an inexperienced school, and we'll see what happens tonight.
You're right. As a matter of fact, you're right. Jody Curtis is in there in the 125-pound championship bout. We have on our third to last main event here in this TNT series. Again, thanks to Don Lilly for everything he's given us. Phil Sarnicki out in the truck, and I'll tell you what, our cameraman, it's just like the coverage out there. It's just like being on the mat. And there is, we get set for our next fight. The door is open. We're waiting for the fighters to enter the rink.
Yeah, the camera guys are doing a nice job tonight in there. I mean, we've got the perfect angles in here, and they're able to get right into the ring with us. And Phil Sarnicki, as we said, out in the truck, doing a great job pulling up those replays. So, and here we go. We're bringing our first fighter, Mark Mendez, into the ring.
Jeff, tell us how important it is to have somebody like Dan Ray, and especially Frankie Scalzo, who we've seen fight before. I know Frankie has been known as one of the best, and I mean that everybody try to emulate him. I mean, tell us how important it is to have somebody like these two guys as third man in the ring.
It's so important for fighter safety. With us trying to get MMA legalized in New York, we need to have really solid, good referees that know the fight game. Frankie Scalzo is an experienced fighter himself. He's had some crazy fights, so he knows what's going on. He knows when a guy's really in trouble, when a guy wants the fight to stop, because no one's going to say they want the fight to stop, but then they'll come thank you in the locker room after, you know. And Frankie Scalzo and Dan are both know what's going on in the fighter's mind, and they communicate very well with the fighters. So it's great, and we need to keep our fighters safe. That's what the amateur level is all about, having fighters develop and stay safe.
Well, as we get set here, Mark Mendez is in the cage, and as we await, you see him. Dan Ray is doing the inspecting in there, and Delvin Speed. And you know a little bit about Delvin, Jeff. Why don't you let us fill us in a little bit?
Yeah, I trained with him. This is his first fight. He trains out of Buffalo United, which is known for their jiu-jitsu. But I know that he's basically a stand-up guy. He doesn't really have too much jiu-jitsu, so we'll see what's going on. He looks great in the camp. I just was at his camp on Friday, watched him train. Man, he looks great. He's in really, really good shape.
Here we go. We're still waiting here for Delvin Speed to come in. Oh, there he is. I'm sorry I missed him come in.
I'm not a big fan of guys that fight in the shock doctor's shorts. It looks a little indecent for TV almost.
There you see Delvin Speed being introduced. Got a lot of people like from Buffalo United come up and support these fighters.
Yeah, it's their first fighter. It's a big fight for the school. You see where they're at.